Hey guys, welcome back to my vlog. Today I wanted to give you a little update on the peacocks before we jump over to see the baby chicks. They've grown so much. They have so many feathers. Indigo actually has a lot of green, and I'm like very sure that Indigo's a boy. Gemini, I had been thinking was also a boy, but now I'm starting to think that it actually might be a girl. So I don't know, we'll find out, I guess. Really quick, I wanted to let you guys know that you can get 20% off of BirdTalk Magazine. That's the bird magazine that I'm writing for. And if you are enjoying these chicken vlogs, be sure to go over to BirdTalk Magazine because I am also talking more about chickens over there on my article, Yard Bird. And that's going to be all about laying hens and all of that. So if you really enjoy birds, parrots, finches, canaries, just anything bird related, please go subscribe to the magazine. You can click the link in the description of this video in order to get 20% off of your subscription. I know some people were saying that they are minors and cannot get the magazine. All you need to do is just ask your parent to help you get the subscription. It's actually really cheap. You can get the digital subscription so that you can read it on your computer, on your phone, or on your tablet. So just ask a parent to help you sign up for it. It is, of course, family friendly, and you can learn so much about birds by subscribing to the magazine. You can read my articles as well as articles from lots of other experts on birds. Today is August 22nd, so got these chicks yesterday. I want them to be eating greens, so I'm going to try to teach them to eat green stuff. And broccoli is a really good way to kind of introduce young birds to vegetables. So let's see, one of them was kind of interested. One's cleaning his foot. Come on, look. Look, these are so good. You gonna peck at it? Oh, look at that. This is their first vegetable. And it may take some time for them to get used to eating their vegetables. Oh, that looked like it was a success. One little vegetable consumed. I think for the most part they're going to be throwing this around the cage, but that's okay. They'll learn over time. I think I've lost their interest a little bit, but they'll come back. I'm going to mix a little bit of food here with it so that they can kind of get the idea. So today's August 24th, and the main point that I wanted to get to in this vlog is how to correctly set up a brooder. So, I got the water that I was telling you guys about. That's better than a bowl of water. This contains a lot of water, small openings so that they can't actually get it too dirty. They can't also step in it. Well, they can step in it a little bit, but they can't really, really get into it. And you want just a small space and also elevate it, like I have it up on this brick, so that they don't get it super dirty. They're going to be scratching through all of this, and they will scratch this up into the water. So putting it up there makes it stay a little bit cleaner. and they're able to reach it. So if you have big chickens like this that are meat or laying chickens, they're going to be able to reach the water up there. Bantams are going to have a little bit of a harder time, so you just want to think about that when setting up their water. Maybe make it a little bit lower. And then over here is their food container. Basically the same thing. It's a jar that has a bunch of food in it so that they have plenty to eat. And it has all their food here so that they can peck it, but it's going to be hard for them to actually scratch it out. Now, they're chickens, so they will find a way, but it's going to be a lot more difficult. So most of the food is going to stay in here, and it's going to keep it from getting wasted. So that's why you have it set up like this. However, when I first get chicks, I like to put the paper towel out like you just saw with their little vegetables, because it's a bigger area for them to peck at and get used to eating out of. So I like to start them off with that and then move them over to a feeder. So by the time they're using this, they actually know that their food's in there and they know what they're eating. Now, when setting up a brooder, I'm using this guinea pig cage, very unsuitable for actual guinea pigs, because you want an open space. You want something that is open, because you do not put chicks in like the aquariums, in the tanks, and anything like that. Don't put chicks in that. It is just going to get humid, smelly. You're going to cause upper respiratory problems with your chickens or poultry or whatever type of bird it is that you're raising. So get something that is open. You can use a trough. That's a good one if you have a lot of chickens. If you have just a few, something like a guinea pig cage is a great brooder. Just as long as it's nice and open on the top and doesn't have glass walls. Even a plastic storage container is not going to be as suffocating as a glass terrarium. But even with the plastic storage containers, just be careful. They do hold the heat in very well. But you don't want to use it when it's too hot or if you have too many chickens in it. Here, these chickens are in my house, so the room is already temperature controlled, so we can have this open space and they're not going to get too cold. But then it also gives them just really good ventilation, so it's a very healthy environment to keep them in. If you're going to be keeping them somewhere outside, like in a storage shed or something like that, and it's early spring, you want to make sure that they have enough heat, that the temperature is going to be able to stay good for them, and that, you know, not all the heat is just going to escape. So if it's something like that, this might not be ideal. But if it is already midsummer and you're raising chicks, then you might want something more open like this, even if you do have it out in a barn or somewhere like that, because you don't want them to overheat. Chicks do need heat, but there is such a thing as giving them too much. With these chickens in particular, I actually noticed that they got hot very quickly, and so that's the other thing. They need heat. So here's their heat lamp, and I like to use like a red bulb or a purple bulb, because then they don't have this like bright white light on them all night, and you have to leave the light on all the time. It's going to be on 24/7 for the first couple of weeks until they're fully feathered. So you want to make sure that it's going to be warm enough for them. Oh, are you choking? Oh, you poor baby. You're going to be okay, okay? Just chill out. Don't eat so fast. Okay, so what I was saying is that these chickens get hot very easily, so I actually lowered their hot spot. This right here is where it's going to be really warm, and I had it at about in the high 90s is typically where I would have it for chickens. But these guys, I think they got that little extra layer of fat, and they're just chickens that actually do well in cooler weather. So they were not sitting under there at all. So I lowered it to about 90 degrees, and that seems to be a lot better. They will go over there and warm up for a little while. They'll usually lay there at night, and then they'll move around. So just try to see what your chicks are doing. if they're constantly at this heat source over here, then the cage might be too cold for them. So you might need to get it warmer. But if they're completely avoiding it, then you need to cool it down. So usually what you're going to do is in the feed stores or, you know, wherever you're buying your chicks, if you order stuff online, the bulbs are going to be, I think it's like 200-watt bulbs. That's hot. That is very, very hot. So they're designed so that you keep them far away from your chicks, because usually you have sawdust or straw or something down here that is flammable. So they're designed to stay very high away from them. But that's still pretty hot. So if you need to lower the temperature, you can go to a pet store and get a reptile light. And there you can get a bulb that's 150, 100 watts. And something like that is going to be cooler for them. Right now I'm using a bulb that is 100 watts. Okay, so then the other thing for setting up your chick brooder is you're going to want some bedding. So something like this, wood shavings, is great. Like all animals, stay away from treated pine, what else? Cedar. That gives them respiratory problems. It makes their eyes irritated. So use something like aspen. This is safe for guinea pigs. I actually use this for my guinea pigs. And that way, you know, they're not going to be uncomfortable in it and having, you know, the bedding cause problems. That's something that I feel isn't very talked about in chicken keeping, is that they just get whatever wood shavings is cheaper, which is usually, you know, pine or cedar. But for just a little bit more money, you can make your chicks a lot more comfortable and just prevent any type of problem coming up where they're going to have respiratory problems or irritated eyes and skin. So the other thing you can do is you can put straw down, but I really prefer to do this in not a thick layer. Like you can see the bottom of this, there's not a thick layer of this. It's just really just covering the bottom. And that's going to collect all their poop and all of that. And I'll probably change it out in maybe 2 days. They're not really getting it too messy right now. But the bigger that they get, the more often they are going to need it to be changed out. Are you picking them out? Back. Today is August 28th, and I haven't filmed the chicks for 2 days, so I wanted to film them really quick because I feel like they got big so quickly. Like, look at all of the feathers on their back. They just have all of these feathers all of a sudden. This one's really big. This is a chick that isn't 2 weeks old yet. Probably be 2 weeks old in a few days. But that is a really big chicken. Oh, it's so cute. Sorry. Oh, you got something stuck to you. I'm gonna clean out their cage tomorrow, film them some more, answer some questions from the last vlog. But I just wanted to show them really quick. They're looking so healthy. And they're so docile. Like, it's just so easy to pick them up. And if I open the door, they'll all come out one by one to greet me. Really, really awesome breed. Okay, so I'm bringing the chicks outside for the first time today. Today is August 31st. They're so big and cute and adorable. Here come the peacocks to try to impress. You're so big. So this is their first time out. We'll see if they try to dust or what they decide to do. Just gotta get comfortable coming out of the brooder for a little bit. Okay, so the chicks are 2 weeks old now, and They're going nuts trying to scratch. And this brooder is feeling kind of cramped already. They're so big. I think I forgot what it's like to have chickens that are this big. Bantams would be able to be in here for several weeks just fine, but these little chicks are just so big. Before we end this vlog today, there are 2 questions that we got from the last vlog. And the first one is from Nick Nicole. Why did you get 6? Is it best to raise chickens in a group, or would they be okay in a group of 2 or 3? So you for sure never want to get 1. The reason I got 6 is because that was a good number for me. I just, wanted a small group, as well as the fact that Tractor Supply does not allow for you to get less than 6. That's actually the minimum for buying birds from them. So you have to get 6, which worked out for me because I wanted at least 5, so 6 was going to be just fine. That's enough for me because I figure that, 5 will probably lay a day, 5 to 4 at least. And so between that, I'll have eggs for myself, some to give to my parents, and also to my brother. So that's enough. Oh, and to Jaime's family. So getting that many eggs a day. Plus, I'm also trying to get the laying ducks. And so if I get some laying ducks and these, this is going to be enough just for our families to be able to have eggs. And I don't need more than that. If I wanted to sell eggs or something like that, then I would probably want to have more chickens. But I think that 6 is plenty if you have really good layers. I think it's better to have at least 5 chicks than to have 2 or 3. I don't think you should have that few. But I mean, having 2 is of course going to be better than having just 1. But having a small flock is always better. I would say probably 4 is a minimum. And 4 really isn't too bad. That's pretty easy to take care of. And they don't really require a lot of space, 10 square feet per chicken. I know some people thought that was a lot of room, but it really isn't. If you think about how big of a pen you would need to have for 4 chickens, it's not that big of a space. The next question is from Pug5488. Do you have to pick a certain species of chick in order to get eggs? Like how he picked out the wrong chicken and you said that this is a species, and he's like, oh no, I gave you, and then gave you the right one. Okay, so they're actually breeds. They're not species. They're able to actually, all the different breeds can breed together and you end up with, mutt chickens, but they will have babies that are just fine, healthy, So they're not species, they're breeds. And yes, you do have to pick certain breeds if you want eggs. There are some breeds that are for meat, there's some that are for both, and there's some that are just for eggs. And then it also depends on what color egg you want. Some people think that the chickens produce eggs based on, the egg color is based on what they eat. That's not true. The egg color is based on their breed. So the ones that he gave me were Americana, and those are actually very good laying chickens, and they produce eggs that are blue and green. I think that those are actually really cool chickens, but I wanted Orpington because I think that Orpington are better for what we're doing here, and what I'm doing is trying to teach people more about chickens. And Orpington are a very, very friendly breed. They also make great pet chickens. Orpington are actually meat and egg layers, so they're used for both, and they produce brown eggs. But yes, it does depend, what you're looking for, of what breed you want to actually pick out. Most of the breeds that Tractor Supply had there were all laying hens. They're mostly all 4 eggs, but they're just, there's different qualities about them. And so that's why I wanted to go with Orpington, and I'll talk more about why I chose this breed in a future vlog. And yeah, I know a lot of people are also saying that the guy was rude and it was really weird that I wasn't able to pick out the chickens that I wanted. And yeah, it was weird. I couldn't even see the chickens because I just couldn't even reach over the fence in order to see into the bins, and that's why I was asking him if they had gray, because I couldn't even see what color these chickens were. And then he gave me the ones that I did not ask for, and I kind of felt like he gave me those, like he was just gonna give me whatever chickens because he thought that I didn't know which breed I wanted. So yeah, it was kind of weird. I wish I had been able to pick them out. I've been able to go in there and pick out the ones I want before, so I don't know what happened this last time. I think he could have been a little bit nicer about it, but oh well. Yeah, and I think that that's it for this vlog. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to see the chicks grow this week. I feel like they're growing really fast. And you guys will see these little chicks again next week. I'm sure they'll have grown a lot more since then. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.